How are you, sir?
I'm really good. How are you?
I could not be any better. The governor declared park staff as essential. You guys full on, full employed at this point? Everybody doing okay?
Well, our park staff is essential. Therefore, they can be out in our parks, keeping social distance, but maintaining our parks in beautiful condition. Uh, the rest of us are working at home, but carrying on our all our campaigns and advancing our mission, just working remotely.
You have so many campaigns going on your Facebook page, the Scenic Hudson Facebook page. Folks can get a lot of information on a lot of different things. You have 44 parks. Ned, I want to ask if you know what the smallest park and what the biggest parks are.
Okay. Yes. We have a little lighthouse landing at Esopus now.
Okay.
I think that's a town park now, but it was one of ours at one point, and it's kind of a little matchbook sized park, but looks right out at the Esopus lighthouse. And then at the other end of the spectrum, we own this 1,200-acre preserve in the Hudson Highlands in kind of Cold Spring and Fishkill. And this is a beautiful preserve that is surrounded by Hudson Highlands Land Trust, excuse me, Hudson Highlands State Park land, and just critical trail connections to Breakneck Ridge and the Appalachian Trail, and amazing vistas of the New York City skyline, the Hudson River. You can hike from there right up to the top of Mount Beacon, where there is a fire tower with 360-degree views all around.
I think I've only done about half of these parks, and in fact, I just discovered Falling Waters Preserve there in Saugerties. Maybe I
Yeah,
shouldn't say that too loud. Are you seeing record numbers at the parks this spring?
yes. People are just loving the parks, and Falling Waters in Ulster County is one of the most beautiful, with cascading waterfalls
Yeah.
and great views up and down the river. Yes, so people are turning out in force, particularly with the quarantine, and we've been really happy to be able to keep the parks open, and people are really cooperating. They're carrying out their trash and cleaning up after their dogs and keeping their social distance. So that's what it's going to take for us to maintain those great parks
Yeah, maybe we'll make this a
during this.
habit, cleaning up after ourselves.
Exactly. Yeah.
I want to ask you about another new one on the horizon, Quarry Waters, which would be just north of the Brickyard in Kingston. Tell me about this, when maybe it might be open, and how big that is.
Well, that is very exciting. It's over 500 acres, and it is, as you said, just north of the Brickyard, and it's an amazing property that was the site of mining operations and cement making. There's still a 120-foot silo cluster on it, cement silos that are no longer in use. But this was a very important industrial hub for Kingston, the town of Ulster, the surrounding area for many years. Many people worked there, earned their livings over many years. But it's been no longer used for industrial purpose for decades. It was the proposed site of a 1,700 unit housing project over a decade ago, and people in the community were against this. Scenic Hudson joined in the opposition to the project, and while it was approved, somewhat scaled back, it never was built. The development was never built. So we kept in touch with the owner and managed to buy it. I think it was last July. And we think it's going to be really spectacular. New York State has said that it would like to turn into a state park. And that's something that we're excited about. The mayor is excited about that prospect. And we think that this will really be a spectacular resource. It's got over a mile of waterfront on the Hudson. The Empire Trail, which is Governor Cuomo's initiative running from the Battery down in Manhattan all the way up to Albany, where it will branch off to the Erie Canal and go out to Buffalo, and then go north as well to the Canadian border. So the Empire Trail is going to run right across that the Quarry Waters property on the Kingston waterfront.
All right. Are you going to be the first one to sign up to travel the entire distance, Ned?
Well, maybe I'll do it in pieces.
Okay.
Because I do like to bike.
Governors, county executives, mayors, as you said, all are really behind parks and preserves. Talk about the economic impact that these have on the local towns and communities.
Well, they're really good for the local economy. They bring in, they attract local residents, they attract people from around the state and country, and there's a tremendous return on investment. People come, they go for hikes, they go into local coffee shops and restaurants. Obviously, we're looking forward to people being able to do that after the quarantine. And I think they say there's like $6 or $7 return on every dollar
Wow.
invested in a state park. So yes, so the county executive, Pat Ryan, is in favor of this. He's been very supportive. Mark Molinaro is very excited about the Empire Trail passing through Dutchess County and then crossing Walkway over the Hudson and then running all through Ulster County. So we think it's going to be great for the entire region.
Ned Sullivan, president of Scenic Hudson. You have a statewide Earth Day call for people to lobby legislators with environmental issues. Is that going on now? Is that all through Earth Day or through the end of the month?
Well, we have a lot of things happening because of Earth Day, and this is not just any old Earth Day. This is the 50th anniversary
Right.
of Earth Day. So back in 1970, some 20 million people across the country took to the streets and went into their outdoor spaces to express their concern about the pollution of our air and water and to call for government and personal action to protect Mother Nature. So this is a period where we think it's important for people to reach out to their legislators and let them know that they want to see the Hudson Valley landscapes and trails protected, these great open spaces that we have. They want to be able to connect with them. So yes, we're encouraging people all week to contact their legislators because obviously New York State with the COVID-19 shutdown is going through a period of real economic stress. But this is a time when we should be setting the stage for a brighter future that protects our water, protects our air, ensures that the laws that resulted from Earth Day 50 years ago and from passage of the National Environmental Policy Act 50 years ago, the seminal environmental law of this country that gives each of us a voice in government decisions affecting the environment. And that law was born here in the Hudson Valley in the Storm King fight that Scenic Hudson led before 1970. And all the DNA of that those federal statutes came from the Scenic Hudson decision in this fight to protect Storm King Mountain. So, but now the federal government is rolling back those laws.
Yes.
They are
Yeah.
gutting the National Environmental Policy Act. They're saying that they don't want to see major infrastructure projects consider climate change. They're rolling back the fuel efficiency standard on our automobiles. I mean, this is crazy. Why would we roll back these laws that have cleaned our air, that are saving people money in their fuel, in their cars, that are ensuring that we're on the right track for air quality and stemming climate change? Why would we roll these back? So it's absolutely crucial that people speak to both their state legislators and their congressional representatives and let them know we want them to stand up to the White House that is leading the charge in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
But we are having a virtual lobby day, and because we can't turn out on the streets and can't go into the halls of Congress right now or the State House in Albany. And so we're encouraging people to visit our website and see how you can get involved in a virtual lobby day, Earth Day lobby day. So go to events and get involved. We have different places on the website where you can figure out how to take action under Get Involved, Defend the Valley, and events, and you'll see great opportunities to both make your voices heard, weigh in with your representatives, and fight for environmental funding, including, very exciting, Governor Cuomo has proposed, and the governor and the legislature have agreed that there should be an environmental bond issue on the ballot in November that would authorize $3 billion for clean air, for clean water, for ensuring that our drinking water is protected, ensuring that we are taking affirmative, positive steps to fight climate change. And Scenic Hudson is going to get behind this campaign, and we're hoping that voters will understand that this is about the future. This is about a post-COVID-19 world where we're able to build on the collective action that people are taking now to ensure that they are healthy and don't get sick, and that the environmental gains that are incidentally occurring now are locked in. How can we ensure that we have a future based on renewable energy and protected landscapes, clean water, so that our children and grandchildren can have a healthy future?
And a global deal for nature looks into the future. Where did this idea come from? Can you talk about that a little bit, Ned?
Yeah, well, this is an exciting idea that imagines and actually projects what can be done to create not just a Green New Deal, but a global deal for nature. It estimates that planting of trees and protecting the habitat for species can occur even as we see climate is changing now. But if we all get together and protect land throughout the world, then we can set the stage for a positive future, for saving our planet. And this is in the face of plants and animals facing extinction. We're facing the warmest periods in in record keeping, but a group of scientists has suggested that making 30% of the planet a nature preserve by 2030, with an additional 20% to secure our carbon sinks, the places that are keeping carbon in the ground, in nature, in our agricultural fields, that can save our planet. It's somewhat reminiscent of another plan that has been proposed of planting 1 trillion trees around the world. And these are things that can be implemented at the state and local level, and so that instead of causing continued emissions of greenhouse gases that is driving climate change, we can instead secure the land and planting of the trees that will keep the carbon here in the Hudson Valley, in New York State, across the United States, across the globe. And what things like this require are a combination of leadership, national leadership, state leadership, the kind that Governor Cuomo is providing on climate change, as well as COVID-19 here in New York State, but also individual action. It's people picking up a shovel and planting a tree themselves. It's people starting a compost pile instead of throwing out your garbage, your organic waste in so that it can be hauled to a landfill. You create a compost pile or bin and create soil that additives to your soil that can help you grow your garden. You can plant native pollinator-friendly flowers in your yard. You can use all natural fertilizers, and you can push a lawnmower instead of having a gas-fired one.
Right.
You can sign up for a community solar farm. You can buy locally, so you can get your food from your own community. And if there's a renewable energy project that's proposed for your community, get involved and work for a win-win outcome. There have been a lot of solar projects proposed around the valley, and people are turning out to oppose them, and because they're concerned that it's going to be hurt their views. And Scenic Hudson is getting involved in these projects to bring the communities and the proponents of the projects together to protect the beauty, to protect habitat, but let's get the renewables rather than continuing to rely on fossil fuel.
Right. All this stuff at a grassroots level, like Scenic Hudson started, like Clearwater started, like all the great environmental groups that we have here in the Hudson Valley in New York, a leader in the environmental movement, as you pointed out, and you have great ideas and actions and all the information on the Scenic Hudson Parks on the website, scenichudson.org, and a lot of great information on the Facebook page as well. Ned Sullivan, president of Scenic Hudson. Thank you so much again, Ned.
Yeah, thanks. I would encourage people to visit our site. We're also fighting a new power plant called Dan Scammer down in the Newburgh waterfront, where they want to build a very large, polluting, fossil-fueled, in fact, frack gas-fueled power plant down there.
Right on the river.
Urge people to, right on the river.
Yeah.
Be 10 times more polluting than the current facility there. People have got to get involved and see for themselves the damage that this could do, and sign up and volunteer so that when we're rolling out action, they're involved, they're making a difference, and ensuring that the future for their children and their grandchildren is a healthy one.
Ned, keep up the great work. Thanks.
Okay, thanks for your great work, Greg. Take care.